This is Google Alerts. It's free and it takes only about 2 minutes to set up, and it'll email you when something you care about shows up online. And that can be your company, your own name, or a topic that you want to know about. All you need to get started is a Google account. And then here at the top, you type in what you want to monitor. So let's take Vercel as an example, and it's a company name. Here at the bottom, you'll see the types of alerts that you'll get. And instantly, if you see that there's a lot of junk, low value items, then I would switch up your keyword and try a few things so that what below shows up actually is useful to you. Once you have that, you click Create Alert, and you can go into that alert and tweak some of the settings. Some of the things that you might want to change are here for how many, the default is only the best results. I actually want to put that to all results as I want to be the judge of what's important, not Google. And here, how often is the cadence of those emails sending to you? I'll put it for a brand, let's say this is my brand, as it happens, because waiting a day or a week might be too late. I would say for less important ones though, a day is fine. If you go and use a whole week, it might be way too much for you to handle, and then you'll just have an alert, a noisy one that you don't do much with. So now we can click Update Alert. Now the harder question is actually what you put in to track to begin with. So people use Google Alerts for all sorts of things, your own name, a topic you work in, a project that you're following. But the rule for any of these is you have to find a bit of balance. If you go way too broad, let's say you're into electric cars and you just track electric cars, you're gonna get flooded with every story on the internet, and that's not gonna be much use to you. But if you're doing it for a company like me, I'd straight away say you have 3 kinds of keywords that you want to monitor. Number 1, it's the company name. Here I have Octolens. You might also want to put some popular variations if people maybe misspell your company name a lot, or if there's a second type of way your company is referenced to on socials, put that in. Secondly, you will want to put in some competitor terms because you'll find out useful information from your competitors. Maybe someone is even writing something negative about them you'd want to know, or there's some comparison pages you've been looking at for competitors that could be useful. And lastly is some topic that you know a lot about or you care about, and that could be something here like keyword monitoring. But again, choose wisely, don't go way too broad because you're just going to get flooded. One other way to narrow down alerts is to use sites. So maybe you just want Vercel from the site reddit.com. That means we'll only get results, and you'll see this below, from Reddit. There aren't any recent ones, but here are some older ones. And then we can click Create Alert again. Why I put in Reddit specifically is that Reddit is super important, especially in a business context, but in many other contexts as well. That's where people are sharing their real opinions, and a lot of decisions are made on Reddit. So you might want to get a separate feed of just Reddit results, separate from your usual alerts. I mentioned there's some things Google Alerts won't catch, and that's because Google Alerts runs on the Google's index. Roughly, if Google hasn't crawled and indexed a page, it's not going to alert you about it. And a lot of conversations that you actually want to know are happening on platforms like Reddit, LinkedIn, or X, and Google doesn't fully crawl those, so you will miss a lot of the mentions that happen on those platforms. Or you might get alerted way too late, and those platforms have a short shelf life. So you should be aware of this and not rely solely on Google Alerts if you also need to cover those platforms. I built a tool to close this gap, and the difference is really where we're looking. So Google Alerts will tell you when something shows up in the Google's index. Octolens, my tool, watches the platforms themselves. Reddit, Hacker News, X, LinkedIn, and we watch posts and comments. Everything gets scored by relevance, so you're not flooded with noise, and it goes straight to Slack or where your teams work. If Google Alerts, though, covers what you need, keep it, it's free. And on the other hand, if you need more full coverage, that's when you can look at a tool like Octolens, and I've put the link below. So your homework after this video is creating 5 alerts, and it really takes only about 2 minutes. If you're not sure what to put in yours, you can also leave a comment below, tell me what you're trying to track, and I can help you figure out what you'd watch.